This conference will now be recorded.
Hi friends, good morning. So in our yesterday session, we have discussed about EC2 instance theoretical part. So in our today session, we are going to see lab friends. Okay? This is our second session with respect to the EC2 service. So in this session, we are going to see basically completely lab friends. In this session, we are going to see how to create Linux VM, how to connect to the Linux VM, how to download Puttigen and Putty. So yesterday also we have seen once you have a key. So key is nothing but it's kind of a password which you need to use whenever you are connecting to the server. So whenever you are connecting to the Linux machines, what happens is whatever key you have downloaded, that downloaded key will be there in a PEM format. If you have that in a PEM format, you cannot able to connect from the Windows machine. So that's why what we need to do is we need to convert that PEM into the PPK format. So to convert that PEM format key into the PPK format, we need a something called Puttigen. Okay, Puttigen is the tool which is going to help you to convert your PEM key into the PPK key. Okay, next. So after that, once you have a PPK format key, by using this, you can connect to the Linux VM by using a tool called Putty. So in this Putty tool, you need to give the PPK formatted key, then the mission IP address or host name, anything. Again, that we have seen already. So we are going to see today once again. Next, we are going to see, yeah. So this part we are going to cover how to convert keys from PM to the PPK format. Then we will see how to install the Apache web server. Okay, how to install the Apache web server on top of the Linux VM and how to host static web applications. Okay, how to how to host the web applications. Then we will see how to access the hosted web application, right? So we have already deployed some application. How you can access that web application also we need to see. Next, we will see how to create Windows VM, how to connect to the Windows VM. Next, how to install IIS server, how to host application in Windows Server. So here, if you see, we have installed the Apache web server. Here, I need to install IIS server if you want to host your web application in a Windows machine. Okay, so finally we are going to see how to host this application in Windows Server and how to access also that part we are going to see. Okay, this is completely lab session, friends. So just before I move into the lab, I will show you some of the commands that we are going to use. See, first thing is when you connect to the Linux VM, you need to update all the services. That is the just a suggestion, but without doing the updation also you can go with, you can directly install your web server. So here if you see update the services which are currently running, if you want to update, you need to use m update -y. Okay, so -y is nothing but it is not going to ask user consent again. So automatically it will understand that user wants to update. Okay, so if you remember, right, if you give simply m update, what it will do is it will ask, do you want to update, yes or no? Again it will ask you to enter. That's why we're putting -y. What it means is user already confirmed that you can go ahead and update the services. Next, this is how we are going to install the Apache web server. This is the command you need to use to install the web server in Linux machine. Next, if you want to deploy your web application, where you are going to deploy is, so this is the path in which you need to deploy your web application. So everything I am going to show you practically. Before that, I'm just giving in a overview. Okay, so start the Apache server. So if you want to access your server, your website, you need to start your server. So for that, you need to have a admin credentials, root credentials. You have to be a root user so that you will have a permissions to start the services. So this is how I am going to start my services. Then I will check the status after started my service, whether it is running or not. I want to check. So this is how you are going to check. So sometimes what happens, your server may be rebooted in the backend itself due to some issue, right? So it will keep restarting due to some issues in the backend. What happens in that case is your server will not start automatically. Okay, but when your server, your Windows machine is restarted, your Apache server will not restart automatically. For that, you need to do something else. That is nothing but a whenever my machine is restarted, automatically start the Apache server, Apache web server. How you can do that? So for that you need to use something called check config httpd on. So if you on it, then what happens? Your server keep running whenever your machine is rebooted and all those things. Come here. So this is the web application I'm going to deploy in our missions. Okay, next. So how to access it? So you can access the static web application using below two ways. Okay, so one is by using IP address of the server. Second is DNS name of the server, domain namespace. Okay, so these two things we are going to see now. Okay, so how to install IIS server? So I will show you how to install IIS server. Once you install IIS server in Windows machine, so where you are going to deploy your web application in Windows machine is this is the path. Here you need to deploy. Okay, so this is the documentation link. Okay, fine. Now I will show you how you can create the Linux VMs. Everything we will start the practice. For that we need to log in into the console. How to log in into the console? Here directly you can say console.aws.amazon.com/. So as I already logged in, so it is taking me into the console directly. Fine. So if you want to create any EC2 instance, click on this tab. Here you can see all the services which are available. We are already seeing all these things. So today we are going to discuss about EC2. Just click on this EC2 instance. Okay, so if you see running instances are 0, dedicated hosts are 0. Yesterday we have talked about dedicated host, okay, elastic IP, key pairs, all those things we have discussed, security groups, all those things, right? So now if you want to create any instance, so the running instances is 0. So if you want to create any instance, just click on launch instance. Okay. So AMI is nothing but it's a template which will have all the binaries will be packaged and will be available as a template. So you can use these templates to create the mission quickly. Okay. So let's say if I want to create a Linux VM, just you have to search Linux. Okay. So if you see your Linux missions, we have multiple Linux missions, but some of the missions are not free tier eligible. So if you want to go with only free tier eligible, just check it so that you will get all the missions which are eligible for your free tier, so that you don't need to make any payment. Okay, so what I wanted to do, come down here, if you see, right, Amazon Linux AMI. So this mission has Python, Ruby, Perl, Java, all installations already available. You don't need to install anything explicitly. Okay, everything is installed, everything is ready in this mission. Let's go with this mission. Click select. Okay. As we discussed that instance types yesterday, right? We have nano, micro, small, large, medium, large, and extra large. So what is the difference? So the number of CPUs, memory, okay, the how the input, output services, all those things, IOPS, okay, processing services, all those things, we will have a difference. If you come here, see, one CPU, 1 GB memory, it will come under micro. If you go with the small, it will be so 1 CPU, 2 GB memory, 2 CPUs, 4 GB memory, something like that. Okay, but we are going with the micro because this is the only uh, type which is eligible for free test. So just click and select this, click next. So here it's not a Azure, friends, it's a AWS. In AWS, the advantage is, let's say I want 5 Linux missions. You don't need to create 5 different times, right? First I will create first mission, second I will create second mission. So you don't need to create like that. If you give 5, automatically it is going to create 5 different instances. Okay, but for now we need only one mission. I will select only one mission. Next, so purchasing options, yesterday we have discussed with nets. Okay, so come down, you can say network subnets, all those things is fine. Okay, so we have not talked about networking. So okay, so now what you need to do here, you can see something called our public IP. So we need to enable the public IP so that you can access the this servers. Okay, so IAM role, all those things, that is not required for now. So if somebody is trying to delete your server, so you don't want to allow them to delete, then you have to check this option. These all things are default. You don't worry about all these things. Just click add storage. Okay. Storage also yesterday we have discussed about, right? So what happens is when your instance is terminated, whatever data you have stored, that data you don't want to lose. For that you need a some block storage, elastic block storage, where you are going to persist your data, right? So for that you can add some EBS volumes and all those things, or you can go with the root volume. Okay, so for now I don't want to add the CBS and all, that is not required for me. Just click add tags. Here you just have to give the key and value pairs to give me a minute. Okay, here we need to give the key and value pairs. That is something like this, created by, okay, so something like this, cloud. Click add another tag, environment. This is basically for dev environment, something like that. So hosted applications, static web applications. So some idea, some key and value pairs you can maintain if you want. Configure security groups. So this is the first level of your defense, friends. So first level of security that you are providing to your instances. So whom you want to allow, who can access the server, who can do what, all those things you are going to define here. So SSH is nothing but this is the default. Let's say if you want to access the Linux mission, you need to enable the port 22. Okay, but if you want to host your web application and if you want to access, you need to enable a something called HTTP protocol. Okay, so this is TCP and you need to enable the HTTP port, friends. HTTP port is port 80. Okay, this port you need to enable. So from which IP addresses you want to allow. So custom means only this one, or you want to identify your IP address and you want to access. So this is the IP address of my mission. So if I want to access this web application only from this part, so now what I am doing is I am allowing only this IP address mission to access the server which I am creating. Suppose if anybody can access my mission, then I have to put anywhere here. I can put here anywhere, so that anybody can able to access my mission which I am creating currently. Okay, so for now I'll put anywhere. Click review plus create. So here you can review all the details which you have provided. Next, come down, click launch. So before you launch it, it will ask you to create a something called key. So key is nothing but it's kind of a password that you need to provide whenever you are logging into the missions. So for that, so create a new key pair. So here I can say second, okay, EC2 second session. Okay, so this is the EC2 second session key. Then first you have to download. Once you download and confirm it, then only it will allow you to launch it. Okay, just click download key pair. So this is the key, friends. Just save it somewhere, this one. Let me create a folder called keys. So in this, let's put these keys. Okay, so this is the folder. Let's go inside. So here you can say, so this is the key I have saved. Okay, so as I have downloaded it, so it is enabled this button. So now you can launch the instance. So this is how you have to create the instance, friends. Now we just created the Linux instance. Let me go and create the Windows instance now. Okay, come back. Okay, so first we will complete with the Linux mission, then we will start with the Windows mission. Let's wait. So now as I said, right, friends. So if you want to access the Linux mission, then you need to provide the key. Okay, this key is available as a PM format. Now you need to convert this PM format key into the PPK format. Okay, so how to convert this PM into the PPK format? So let me go inside keys and show you. See, this is a PM format, .pm, right? So because you cannot do something like this, .ppk, rename it or something. You should not do that. Okay, so you need to convert this PM into the PPK. So how to convert that? Let me show you. First, go here. Okay, here you can say putty. So you can say putty download. Just go here, putty download. Click on download putty. Click here. So come down. You can say something called puttygen. Okay. So based on your mission configuration, whether it is 64 or 32-bit, you can download one. So I am downloading 64-bit puttygen.exe. Okay, save file. In the same way, if you see here something called putty, so putty.exe also we need, just download that as well. So now I have downloaded these two. So once you download, you don't need to install it. It's a exe file. Directly you can search here puttygen. See, puttygen is came here. Double click on that, so it will open. So once it is opened, you need to convert the PM format key to the PPK format key. So click load. Go to desktop. Click on keys. So you need to select. See, it is not showing because it is always expected PPK. So go to all files. It will show PM. Select it. Click open. Okay. Now save as a private key. Click on save as a private key. Yes. So this one I will save it as a final key. Final Linux key. Okay. Now just save it. Okay, that's all. You can close this one. This is no longer required. Now, if I want to access this mission, if I want to log in into the server, first go to dashboard. So how you will access? See, go to EC2 instance. Okay, go inside running instances. See, because we just created one mission, so that mission is running. So this is the mission which is running. Okay, select that mission so that if you see here down, you can see public IP address. This is the public IP address. Select it. So open your putty which you have downloaded. Okay, see putty.exe. Double click on that. This is also put your host name here. Host name is nothing but a IP address here. Click on this SSH. Click on auth. Browse it and select PPK formatted key. Go inside keys. See, this is the key which is PPK format. Open it. Now click open. Click yes. So we need to log in. Okay, what is the username? So we just have provided the password, that is through the key, but what is the username? That username, if you want to get, by default username is ec2-user. Okay, ec2-user, enter. So now I will show you where you can find this name. Just click connect. See here ec2-user, then this is your DNS name. Okay, so this is the username ec2-user. Okay, so that is what I have entered. So I am here currently. Okay, so first thing that I wanted to do is I want to go to I want to move as a root. See, currently it is showing ec2-user, but sudo su means sudo is nothing but a root user, su is nothing but a switch user. I want switch user as a root. So enter. See, now it became root. Okay, now here what I wanted to do. So first thing is I want to install the Apache server. Before I install Apache server, what I need to do is I need to update this mission. How to update? So for updating, we have a update command update. So I don't want to intervene in between. That's why I'm telling you can go ahead and update all the services. Click enter. So it is updating everything. So these are the different services available. It is updating. it's kind of a refresh. Okay, it's updated all the things. Okay, so here if you see, this is okay, so we have done it. Now we need to install the Apache server. Okay, install. What is the server we want to install? HTTPD. Okay, if1. Okay, let me just maximize this text. So right click, go here, change settings, click on appearance, click change, select 18, click OK, click apply. So here you can see install httpd-y, enter. So now it is installing the HTTPD services. So now we will check whether service is up and running or not. HTTP service, HTTPD status, enter. So if you see, the status is stopped. Okay, now how to start it is very simple. Start, enter. See, starting HTTPD. Now again, once again you check the status. So status is running. Okay, now come here. So now what we need to do, friends? So if you remember, we need to do something called check config HTTPD on. So what it is going to do is, whenever your Linux machine is shut down due to some issue in the background, your HTTPD service should not stop. That's why you need to use this command. This command is telling whenever system is rebooted, HTTPD service should come up automatically. Click enter. Okay, so that's all, friends. Now we need to host our web application. Where we are going to host our web application is cd/var/www/html. So this is the path you need to go. Okay, you can check present working directory. See, you are in this directory. So cd, this path means I have changed the directory to this path. So here I need to host my web application. How to host the web application? VA. So there are some editors. By using these editors, you need to put your web application. VA index.html. Okay, what I can do, index.html. Click enter. So here I can write my web application details. So click I. I is nothing but insert mode, so that you can put all your web application. Now already web application is available here. So let's come here. Okay, this is my web application. Take this. This is very simple thing. Okay, so put it. So that's all. Now I want to save this text. Escape colon W, write quit exclamatory enter. So this is how you need to come out from the editor. Now I want to see what is the data we have in this file. Cat is the command which will tell you what is the content which is there in this file. Enter. So you can see here. So this is the content which you have kept. Okay, that's all, friends. So this is how you need to host the web application. Now we need to see how to access these things, how to access the web application. Okay, so take this IP address. Okay, come here and put it here, enter. See, so this is the Cloud Pandit. This is Cloud Pandit trainings. Welcome to Cloud Pandit online trainings. Let's go with the web application and compare what it is exactly. So title is Cloud Pandit. Where it is? It is here. Okay, Cloud Pandit. This is the title. Title is nothing but it will show here. Okay, next Cloud Pandit trainings. This is the header. So that's why it is showing in this much like a kind of a bold. Okay, next. So if you see here, welcome to Cloud Pandit online trainings. So it is showing in this text. So you will have a different headers, right? H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, something like that. So if you want to take something, so web application that you can deploy, but that web application you can create as per your requirement, friends. But ultimately, if you have a web application, static web application, this is how you are going to deploy it, and you can access it through the IP address. So not only through IP address, you can also use the DNS name to access the web application. Okay, let me show you that. Put it here, enter. Okay, so this is how you are going to access it, friends. Okay, so this is how you are going to access the web application, friends. Is it clear? Any doubts, friends, here? Please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we will continue with the Windows mission.
Yeah, Malaya Devashish here.
Tell me.
So how to change the username in EC2?
Username, that is the default username. If you want a new user, you can able to create a new user. Okay.
The option is there, right?
Yeah. You can see in every mission you can create a multiple users, friends. So this is the root credentials, but you can maintain multiple users. You can create users and all those things. Okay. So that part we will see in our next session. Okay, how to create users, all those things. For that you just have to have some Linux knowledge, so that you will know how to create the users, how to create the groups, how to add the users to the groups, how to provide permission to the users groups. All those things you will have, you will get to know. Okay.
Okay.
Any
One
other
more
questions,
question.
friends?
One more question is there. Putigen convert PM format to PPK format. So that is required to connect to Windows machine, right?
No, Linux machine. Currently we have access Linux machine, remember.
Okay,
Linux
so
machine,
to
not
connect
Windows
to the
machine.
Linux machine, we need to be convert the PM format to PPK format, right?
Yes, correct.
And if you want to
When you are
connect to,
accessing this Linux machine from Windows.
okay, when we are connecting Linux machine from one. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So any other questions, friends? Usha, Surya, Srinivas, Praveen, Kishore. Anybody have any questions, friends? Okay, clear, fine. So now we will see how to create Windows mission. So same things, friends. Just click launch instance. Okay, because we want to create one more instance. You can click launch instance from here, or you can go to EC2 dashboard. Okay, here you can come down. Okay, here you can see launch instance, how we have started our creating EC2 instance, right? So click launch instance once again. So search for Windows. So just search for Windows. As I need only free tier services, just click here. So you can see all the EC2 instances of Windows which are eligible for your free tier. So these are the different services. Let's go with the first mission. Okay, so T2 micro. So we know the types, right? So already we discussed. Just click configure instances. Here, how many instances we need. So let me show you. Let's say, okay, let's go with one. Then later I will show you how you can create multiple instances. Calm down. So here, as I said, you need to enable the IP address, because we need IP address to access it. Please be in mute, friends. Somebody is unmuted. Devashish, please go mute. Okay, so now come down. Okay, all these things you can leave as a default. Next, click add storage. So storage also I am leaving as a default. Add tags. Here, if you want to use some tags, key and value pairs, those you can do it. Okay, click configure settings. So yes, just now we have done, right, key value pairs, that you can do. Now here, see, previously as it is Linux mission, we have a SSH enabled automatically, but this is Windows mission, that's why RDP is enabled. Okay, RDP we need to enable, that is port number 3389, we need to allow if you want to connect to the Windows mission. Okay, so from anywhere I want to connect, put anywhere. Next, as we are going to host our web application, applications, if you want to access from the browser, we need to enable HTTP, that is port 8080. Select HTTP port 80. So I want to access from anywhere, select anywhere. click review plus create. Okay, so you can review all the details. Click launch. When you are launching, it will ask you to create a key value pair. So if you remember, just now we have used this key. So do you want to use same key to log in into the Windows machine? If you want, then you have to acknowledge it, then you have to launch it. But if you don't want to use the existing key, so as it is a Windows machine, you want to maintain separate key, then you have to say create a new key. So this is EC2 Windows key. Okay, download it, click launch instance. That's all. So this one I want to save file. Okay, I have saved that key. Now Windows machine is also coming up. Okay, why it is showing only one, only this mission? Because there will be a filter applied. See here, search. Okay, if you uncheck this, if you remove that, so all missions will show up here. Okay, fine. Now go back here, go here and go to downloads. You can see this is the key which we have downloaded. So cut it, where we need to put it, go inside keys. Okay, I need to put this key. So this is the PM key, friends. Okay, this is wait some 2 minutes, something like that, so that this mission will be available. Once this mission is available, then only you can able to connect, friends. The problem is, see here, if you click connect, so you can see username here. Okay, if you want to get the password for this mission, you have to click get password. Okay, see what it is saying, password not available yet. Please wait at least 4 minutes after launching an instance before trying to retrieve the auto generated password. Okay, so that's why we need to wait for 2 minutes at least, so that our mission will come up. Okay, fine. So meanwhile, let me explain you. Yeah, so now as we are going to connect to the Windows machine, you no need to convert this particular PM into the PPK and all those things. So I will show you now. Once you are able to connect here, get password, click on get password, it will ask you to browse the PM format file. So once you provided that key will be decrypted and it will give the password for you. Okay, that key will be decrypted and it will generate a password for you. That password we are going to use to connect to the this Windows machine. Okay, just to hold on a while so that it will come up, friends. See here, see, let me come back from the beginning, click connect. So your username is administrator. Okay, remember your username is administrator. Let me just open it back. Okay, this is the username. Get password, browse it. Okay, go inside keys. Okay, Windows key.pm, select that. Click decrypt. You need to decrypt so that password will come. This is the password which you need to use to log in into the Windows machine. Okay, this is the username, this is the password. How to log in, friends? So you need to open a remote desktop, the remote. So you can click on this, then it will ask you to enter the host name. What is the IP address? Public IP. This is the public IP. Okay, so I hope everybody know how to connect to it, right? So friends, so you just have to give the name here and username here. What is the username? If you remember, so this is the username. Take it and put this name here and click connect. Okay, so it will ask you to enter the password. Let me enter the password. Okay, this is the password which I need to enter. Put this password here, click OK. click yes. So now you are connecting to the Windows machine, friends. Okay, so you are here. What you need to do, come here. Okay, so if you wait for 1 minute, automatically everything will be open. You don't need to worry about anything. Or if you want to do quickly, just click on this. Okay, here you can say server. Okay, so first let me show you the things that you are going to see the difference before installation and after installation. So if you go to this PC, if you go inside local, see here you don't have any folder called inetpub. Okay, what is that? The name is this one. Remember, the name is this one, inetpub. Okay, with this name, okay, with this inetpub, there is no folder here. You can see. Okay, but when I install our IIS server, okay, so that will be that folder will come. In that folder, we need to host our web application. To install our IIS server, what you need to do? Come here, go to server manager. Open that server manager. Okay, so click on add role and features. So server manager is collecting inventory data. The widget will be available after data collection finishes. So just now we have logged in. So it is still refreshing and it is collecting some more data. Let's wait, click add and role feature once again. So it came now. Okay, so just click on this first. It will come. Click next. Click next. Click next. So here, see friends, web server IIS. Okay, you need to select this, then add feature. So this is the feature you need to add. So this is right tick, right? So you need to make sure that this is right tick. Okay, click next. Click next, next, next. Install it. Okay, so it is going to install now. Let's wait a while so that this IIS server will be installed. So this is the web server which you need if you want to deploy your applications in the Windows machine. Okay, so meanwhile we will keep everything ready. So let's open Notepad here. Okay, click on Notepad. So this is the Notepad. So come back here. Okay, take this H3. Okay, web application and put this here. Now click on format ODRAF so that you can able to see everything here. So just to make sure this is from Windows, I will say title is Windows Cloud Pandit and Cloud Pandit trainings. Welcome to Cloud Pandit online trainings. And here I'll say accessing this site from Windows machine. So this is the content I'm writing. Okay, save this file. Okay, how to save? You know, right? So just click file, save as. Okay, where do you want to save? Click this PC. Now if you come down, go inside this local disk. See now there is a folder is showing now because we just installed the IIS server. Go inside, Go inside www root. Here you need to place your this file. Okay, indos.html, index.html. So all files, click save. Okay, fine. Let me show you. Here, if you see this installation is finished, just click close. Now go back to your computers here. Click on this PC. Go inside local disk. See folder is showing. Inside this folder, inside www root, I have placed index.html. If you want to see the content which is there in this, just now we have placed this file, right? So open in Notepad. Click OK. So this is the content. So what is the content we have as a paragraph here? If you see, welcome to Cloud Pandit online trainings and accessing this site from Windows Mission. Okay, so close it. Okay, close everything. Now come out from this, go to your AWS console. So this is the Windows Mission. How you know this is Windows Mission or not? Come down and check. So this is the platform details. This is a Windows Mission. So this is the mission. So come here, take the IP address of this. Okay, let's try to access it. See, welcome to Cloud Pandit online trainings, accessing this site from Windows Mission. So we are able to access the web application. In the same way, you can also use the DNS name. Copy it. Okay, put it here. See, it is coming. Now my question is, what happens if I delete this index.html? Okay, so if you are deleting this index.html, what happens is this site will show default page. Okay, that will show some default page that let me show you. Okay, delete it. So I delete it. Now come out and refresh it. See, this is the default page that it is going to show. So what it means is Internet Information Service, IIS service is already installed. Okay, now if you want to host the web application, you can host. So already we have seen how to host and how to access it. Okay, so this is how you need to host the web application in Linux machine and Windows machine, and this is how you are going to access it. Okay, clear? Any doubts from here?
We can
any
host.
Questions? Anybody have any questions?
One question here. We can host only HTML file or any other file also we can host.
No, you can host your .NET application, any application you can access.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, friends. Okay, then. Thank you all. Thank you. That's all for today, friends. Thank you.